So, have you ever had those moments that just, well, click? A conversation perfectly timed, or maybe a dream that felt, I don't know, more real than waking life. Or maybe you felt the flip side, like your biggest goals, your manifestations are just stuck, like the universe kind of hit the pause button. If any of that sounds familiar, then today's deep dive off really telling. We're exploring a source called Thoth, and it connects, well, these everyday strange moments, quantum physics, and to a big shift. Yeah, so our mission today, to unpack these ideas, feels, see how they suggest these moments aren't aligning you for something short. We want to explore how this whole perspective fundamentally changed even reality itself. Let's start with this idea of our consciousness as a freak. It actually claims less than 1% of ever really. And the fact that you're hearing this now, it suggests that's not an accident either. It's like your own internal think about those bread eating perfectly timed. Apparently, it's all part of a binary. It's not just stuff happen. Event horizon. So these things prep for a big break.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how our view of those frustrating void periods, when things feel stalled, opportunities dry up, how that totally shifts with quantum physics.
Yeah.
Some people, and it's understandable, feel like, oh no, what did I do wrong? Or that they've lost momentum somehow.
Yeah, definitely panic sets in.
Right. But quantum physics flips that. It says this isn't emptiness. It's actually arguably the most creative state there is.
Yeah.
Take quantum superposition. It's this idea that like a particle exists in all possible states at once until you observe it.
Okay. So multiple possibilities happening simultaneously.
Exactly. Now apply that to your desires, your future business, that relationship, the abundance you seek. It's not just one potential outcome way off in the distance. It suggests these things already exist across, well, infinite probability states right now, waiting.
Wow. So the void isn't failure.
Yeah.
It's
Incredibly active. It's where your desires are literally, according to this view, reorganizing reality at quantum level. And then you have the quantum vacuum. Again, sounds empty, right? But it's not. It's supposedly teeming with zero-point energy, immense creative potential. Your desires exist in this field as virtual manifestation, flickering in and out, subtly influencing things, leading to those synchronicities and insights you note.
Okay, that connects the dots. And the source mentions a pattern.
Yes, exactly. The bigger the manifestation, the deeper the void period. And you hear stories, right? A huge business deal after months of nothing.
Or finding a soulmate after feeling like love was totally off the table for 8.
Precisely. So that nothing period wasn't a punishment. It was essential prep time, letting the universe line everything up. And what's amazing is that ancient wisdom traditions like the Taoing or Buddhist teachings, they intuitively got this idea of apparent nothingness as infinite potential. Quantum physics is now just giving it a scientific framework.
All right, this next part. This is where it gets really interesting. And honestly, where I think a lot of us, myself included, can trip up majorly. You've done the work, set intentions, visualized, you feel the excitement, but then
the checking starts.
Yes, compulsively checking the phone, refreshing emails, scanning every little thing for a sign, heart racing, overanalyzing everything.
And there?
Our source says this is the exact moment many people sabotage things. It calls it a fatal shift. You move from receiving energy into desperate wanting energy. So from that quantum viewpoint, why does this desperate looking, this observation actually, well, destroy the manifestation?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It ties right into the observer effect in quantum mechanics, sometimes called decoherence. See, desperate observation doesn't just look at things. In the quantum world, observing collapses potential.
Collapses potential.
It forces all those infinite possibilities we talked about, the superposition, into your current, often limited reality. By frantically searching for proof, you're basically telling the universe, this is all there is, based on what you see right now.
Instead of letting the bigger possibility emerge.
Exactly. You're anchoring it to your present limitation, rather than letting it unfold in its full glory. And think about how it feels physically, that wanting energy, its shallow breathing, tense muscles, that whole fight or flight response.
Yeah, anxiety, stress.
That's the energetic signature of scarcity, of lack, fear. And the universe, as the source suggests, responds to your energetic state, not just your wish list. So broadcasting, I don't have this, through desperate wanting, it actually pushes it away vibrationally.
Okay. So what's the alternate? The receiving energy.
Receiving energy operates from a completely different space. It's a deep, fundamental knowing that what's yours is already yours. It's on its way. The analogy used is like a seed. A seed doesn't frantically check the soil moisture every 5 minutes, right? It trusts the process. It trusts the universal intelligence to guide its growth into a tree.
That's a powerful image. Less striving, more trusting.
Exactly. Think about network. Person A is anxious, needs constant reassurance, worries about saying the right thing. Person B is just naturally confident but quiet, takes action that feels right without the desperation.
And person B usually ends up being magnetic, right? Opportunities just seem to float.
That's it. That's quantum entanglement playing out. Your awareness can link up with your desired outcomes, but the source insists it's only from that receiving frequency, wanting energy. That's like trying to tune into FM radio using an AM dial. It's a mismatch. Receiving energy allows that quantum entanglement to happen.
So how do you know if you're stuck in wanting energy? What are the signs?
Usually it feels contracted. Anxious, compulsive checking, like we said, needing external validation all the time, feeling like you have to explain or defend your dreams to everyone.
Right, that defensiveness.
Yeah. So here's a really practical tip. When you catch yourself in that wanting spiral, just pause, breathe, and ask yourself, what would the version of me who already has this be doing right now?
Shifting the identity.
And someone with their dream partner isn't obsessively swiping. Someone financially free isn't anxiously checking their bank balance every hour. That simple question shifts your energy signal from trying to get it to simply allowing it.
Allowing the universe to deliver.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about releasing that white-knuckled attachment to the how and when. Your ego mind has limit. The universe, or quantum field, has infinite ways. Releasing attachment opens you up to something potentially far better than you imagine.
That really reframes the whole process. Moving from effort to receptivity.
Okay, so if we manage that, what about those moments where things do suddenly click? Like a solution appearing out of the blue. Our source has a wild idea about this. It suggests the breakthrough isn't coming from the future. It's transmitting to you right now from a parallel timeline, from a version of you that's already there.
It's taking quantum entanglement to a whole new level. The idea is that your awareness isn't just stuck here in this single timeline. It's actually entangled across multiple realities, multiple versions of your life simultaneously.
So those flashes of insight, gut feelings, those urges that seem to come from nowhere.
According to this source, yes. They're not random, they're message guided, transmitted back to you from your future self, the one who's already figured it out, already navigated the challenges you're facing now.
Wow. Communicating through time via entanglement. Sort of. Think of it like phase lock, like two pendulums swinging separately, then gradually synchronize. Your future self's reality is phase locked with yours, pulling your current reality into alignment. And when systems reach a critical point of synchronization, they undergo a phase transition, a sudden, dramatic shift, like water to ice, or, the classic example, caterpillar to butterfly.
So if life feels chaotic sometimes, that might not be a bad sign.
Potentially the opposite. The source calls it maximal entanglement entropy. It means your consciousness is getting so deeply intertwined with that desired reality, the whole system has to reorganize itself at a higher, more complex level.
Which might feel messy in the moment.
Very messy, but it's actually a sign of profound alignment happening. This also explains why breakthroughs often feel like remembering something rather than learning it new.
Because your future self is feeding you info you technically already know on that other timeline.
Exactly. You're tapping into knowledge you've already acquired there.
Okay, practically then, what does this mean for us day to day?
It means recognizing you have a choice every single morning. Which version of you are you going to activate today? The one struggling or the one who's already thriving on that parallel track?
You choose where to put your focus, your energy.
Precisely. And pay super close attention to that subtle guidance, the book that jumps out at you, the opportunity mentioned offhand, that moment of sudden clarity. These aren't accidents. They're those breadcrumbs from your future self.
Yeah.
The more you trust and act on them, even small action, the stronger that quantum connection becomes. You're literally strengthening the signal, pulling yourself toward that phase transition.
Okay, so this whole idea turns the usual self-help advice on its head a bit. Many people think, I need to change who I am to get what I want, like transform yourself. But this deep dive seems to suggest that's not quite the right way to think about it.
Indeed. The source suggests the quantum field isn't like a building site where you have to painstakingly construct a new you brick by brick. It's much more like a radio.
A radio?
Yeah.
How so?
Think about it. Infinite stations are broadcasting all the time, simultaneous. Your favorite music, news, talk shows, they all exist right now. Your job isn't to build the radio station.
It's just to tune in.
Exactly. You just tune the dial to the frequency you want to listen to. All possible versions of you, the abundant you, the confident you, the you living in that dream house, they already exist right now on parallel timeline, broadcasting their frequency.
So the goal isn't transformation, it's tuning.
Tuning and identity coherent, that's the term used. The secret of that 1% isn't necessarily that they have more willpower or work harder in the traditional. It's their consistency in choosing which version of themselves to animate, which frequency to broadcast throughout the entire day. Not just for 5 minutes during.
That makes sense. And this connects to neuroscience too, right? Like Dr. Joe Dispenza's work.
Absolutely. Neuroplasticity. Your brain literally can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. So when you consistently embody that expanded identity, how would that version of you feel? How would they move? Breathe. Think. You are physically rewiring your brain. You're building the neural pathways, the biological foundation for that identity to become your default, your lived reality.
But There's a track here, too, isn't there? The source mentioned destructive interference.
Yes, that's crucial. Imagine you have a great meditation, feeling abundant, feeling amazing. Then 2 minutes later, you're anxiously checking your bank balance, feeling lack, complaining about bills.
You've just canceled out the signal.
Pretty much. You've created opposing waves that interfere destructively. That's why the choice point framework is so powerful. Every single moment, every decision, however small, is a chance to vote for your desired timeline. Before you react, before you choose, ask, what would the version of me who is already living my desired reality choose right now?
So it's not about faking it till you make.
Not exactly. It's about recognizing that the version of you who has what you desire simply makes different choices. They value their body, maybe choosing the salad. They invest in themselves out of self-worth. They speak their truth because they trust the outcome.
They operate from a different state of being.
That's the core of it. You flip the whole equation. Instead of trying to pull your dreams down to your current level, you rise up to the level of being that naturally aligns with those dreams.
Embody the state first.
Embody abundance now, embody love now, embody confidence now. Let the external reality catch up. This is identity training. Even washing the dishes can be practiced. Do it like someone who loves and cherishes their beautiful home. Drive your car like someone enjoying the journey of their amazing life.
The quantum field responds to who you're being.
Not just what you're wanting. That's the shift.
Okay, let's talk about those moments when things do shift dramatically, like a solution pops up after months of banging your head against a wall, or doors that seemed welded shut suddenly swing open. Our source calls this quantum tunneling in action. What does that mean?
It's a fantastic concept from quantum physics that explains why success can feel so sudden, so out of the blue. Quantum tunneling is literally when a particle passes through an energy barrier. It shouldn't have enough energy to overcome. It just appears on the other side, like the barrier wasn't even there.
An instantaneous jump.
Exactly. Apply to life. Those limitations you perceive, financial walls, relationship blocks, health issues, they might be about to become irrelevant.
Yeah.
Not because you'll slowly break them down,
but because you'll tunnel through them.
You'll shift into a parallel reality, a timeline, where those barriers simply don't exist for that version.
Can you give examples?
Think of the struggling artist who gets discovered overnight, or someone with chronic pain finding it vanishes after one specific session or insight. These aren't just lucky breaks, according to this model. They're quantum tunneling effect.
Are there signs this might be happening?
Yes, the source mentions reality feeling more fluid, more responsive. Maybe time feels a bit weird, speeding up or slowing down. Synchronicities multiplying like crazy. These are hints that the walls between timelines are thinning.
The tunneling process has started.
And that your future self is actively pulling you towards that breakthrough event.
Okay, and connected to this, you mentioned virtual manifestations earlier. How do they fit in? Are they different from just, like, possibilities?
Good question. They are a bit different from the general potential in the quantum vacuum. Think about virtual particles in physics. They flicker into and out of existence very briefly, but still have real effect. Your desires, in this view, do something similar as virtual manifestation. They start as these incredibly brief, almost imperceptible flickers of your desired reality showing up in your current field.
Like little previews.
Exactly. Like trailers for the main event. They're not fully stable yet, so most people dismiss them or don't even notice, but they are happening.
And they build up over time.
That's the idea. It's a process of gradual stabilization. First, maybe it's just a split second of unexplained joy or then maybe a synchronicity or an opportunity that almost works out. Each flicker actually builds the quantum coherence needed for the full, stable materialization.
But this is where the wanting energy trap comes back in, right? Looking too hard.
Precisely. Looking for solid proof too early, especially with that desperate energy, forces the virtual manifestation to collapse back into potential. It needs coherence protection, the source says, like shielding a delicate soap bubble until it's ready.
So patience and trust are key here.
Immensely key. It even reframes things like the dark night of the soul. Maybe it's not a test or punishment. Maybe it's your manifestation deep in that quantum vacuum state, invisible but intensely active, gathering the coherence it needs to burst forth.
So the big takeaway is you're not waiting for something to start.
You're protecting something that's already happening from collapsing before it's fully formed.
As we're even talking about this, the source claims our brains are physically changing, not just metaphorically ending, but actually restructuring.
Yes, it talks about a nervous system revolution, that every insight, every aha moment, every time you feel that click of recognition, I knew that, it's forging new neural paths permanently.
So we're literally building the biological hardware to perceive and operate in these expanded ways.
That's the idea. Neuroplasticity and over. You're effectively downloading new software, learning to recognize abundance where you saw lack, interpret synchronicities, meaning operate more naturally within these quantum principles.
And this integration continues after we stop.
Apparently for about 72 hours, especially during sleep. Dreams might become more vivid, symbolic as your subconscious works to integrate these new frequencies, new operational code. And emphasizes that feeling of remembering, like you're recalibrating to frequencies your consciousness knew before, perhaps before focusing so intensely on just the 3D world.
So it's less about learning, more about remembering how to do different.
And how to exert conscious frequency control. Recognizing that your thoughts and emotions are frequencies. Gratitude vibrates much higher, say 540 hertz, than fear, maybe around 100 hertz. Your brain is learning or remembering how to consciously choose and amplify the frequencies you want. Gratitude, love, abundance, creating constructive interference that aligns you with that reality.
But we should expect some pushback from old patterns.
Oh, resistance is normal. Old habits or old reality loops will test. The key isn't to fight them tooth and nail. Just acknowledge them. There's that old thought pattern like watching clouds drift by. Don't engage. Stay anchored in your chosen frequency.
And we might become more sensitive.
Yes. Heightened sensitivity to subtle energies is common. Better intuition, noticing energy shifts before your logical mind catches up. Those new neural pathways make you a more finely tuned and they're permanent.
This is fascinating because it implies our personal shift isn't just personal, it affects something bigger.
Exactly. The source connects this to morphic resonance and morphic concepts explored by biologist Dr. Rupert Sheldrake. The idea is every time you choose, say, receiving energy over wanting energy, you're not just changing your own state, you're subtly adding that pattern, that frequency, to a collective, invisible blueprint for humanity.
Making it easier for the next person.
Making it infinitesimally easier, yes. Think about how major shifts happen, scientific discoveries popping up independently around the same time, or huge cultural movements like the Renaissance or the 60s spreading seemingly without direct mass communication. Your personal breakthrough becomes a kind of beacon, a possibility template that others can unconsciously tune into.
So humanity itself might be evolving its relationship with reality creation.
That's the proposition. A species-wide evolution from being unconscious creators, often driven by fear or limitation, to becoming conscious collaborators with these quantum fields. Ancient prophecies hinted at it. Modern science is exploring it. And it gives us, as early adopters of this conscious approach, a kind of responsibility.
Our energy choices ripple out.
Massively. Choosing fear reinforces collective patterns of separation and lack. Choosing to embody receiving energy, trust, abundance that strengthens templates of unity and possibility for everyone.
Is this like the 100th monkey effect?
Precisely that idea. Sheldrake's research suggested that once a critical number of individuals in a species learn a new behavior, it becomes much easier for the rest of the species to pick it up, even without direct contact. As more people master this internal shift from wanting to receiving, from limitation to possibility, that mastery becomes more accessible energetically to the whole collective.
So my working on my personal abundance could theoretically impact global economics.
On a subtle level, yes. By shifting the underlying morphic field, it suggests our inner work impacts everything. Careers, relationships, yes, but potentially also global challenges like climate issues, inequality, political divides, because we're changing the energetic soup we're all swimming in.
The key being consistency, regardless of what the outside world looks like.
Consistency in aligning with that receiving energy, that knowing. Your breakthrough isn't just for you. It's framed as conscious participation in humanity's next evolutionary step.
Wow. Okay, as we start to wrap up this deep dive, it feels like we've covered a lot of ground. You might be feeling, wow, buzzy. The idea is your nervous system has literally been upgraded, and your role in things has maybe shifted from just personal goals to something more collective.
And what's really powerful here is integrating all of this, embodying this frequency mastery, not as a technique you do, but as your natural way of being. The core truth, repeated throughout the source, is that you are a conscious frequency broadcaster. Full stop. Your reality mirrors your signal.
So the gap between here and there, it's not.
It's frequency difference. That's it. And you have the tuner. You're not trying to force a new reality to appear out of thin air. You're simply tuning into the frequency that already exists, where everything you desire is already vibrating, waiting for you.
Your body becomes the detector.
Your most sophisticated tool, guiding you towards inspired actions that feel effort aligned, not forced, which leads to that beautiful paradox, complete surrender while taking inspired action.
Meaning, let go of the how and when?
Totally release the death grip on the specifics, the timeline, but stay awake, receptive, ready to act when the aligned opportunity appears. You become a dance partner with the universe. It leads, you follow grace.
And you can live in both worlds, current reality and desired reality.
Yes, this dual existence. You navigate your day-to-day life perfectly competently, but inward, you're vividly experiencing, feeling, knowing your desired reality simultaneously. It's not delusion. It's becoming conscious of multiple frequencies at once.
Because where your attention goes,
energy flows.
Yeah.
Attention is life force itself, the source state. Give more of your precious attention, your focus, your feeling state to your expanded reality, and that is what will grow and solidify.
Okay, so a final thought to leave everyone.
Perhaps this. You are not separate from desire. You never were. That feeling of separation, just a frequency difference. An illusion born from tuning into the frequency of not having Saya. And you hold the power, right now in this moment, to change that frequency through your conscious choice of focus, feeling, and being. You can shift from any limitation into any expansion you dare to conceive. So the real question, what frequency will you choose to broadcast next?